and everyone else. I'm Wakungu Maingotu, Director Planning, Mitete Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bewe Kambani. I'm the Acting Procurement Officer under Mitete Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members, and good morning, auditors. My full names are Kufekisa Namasiku, Assistant Internal Auditor, Mitete. Thank you very much, and now it's our 10 honorable members, starting from Honorable Shakafusu.
Chair, thank you so much, and good morning to you and the honorable members, our permanent witness, and the Mitete. Welcome to Mandevu. My name is Christopher Shakafusu. I am privileged to represent the good people of Mandevu. I'm a committee member. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning. Morning, fellow members of Parliament. Good morning, our permanent witness. And good morning, Mitete. Welcome to National Assembly. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency. I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Chair, I'm grateful. As you have heard, Mitete, you are welcome. Truly yours, MP Mutelo Mishek for Mitete. That being the case, Chair, the Chair has told me that I shouldn't utter any word. I will just observe. You are welcome. Happy New Year. Feel at home. Relax.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and welcome Mitete to this committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament from Fumbwe, and the father to Mishek Mutelo.
Thank you, Chair. Morning, permanent witnesses, and Mitete. You're most welcome to your committee, and feel at home, relax. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, area member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency, Petauke district of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mitete Town Council, I'm Honorable Simumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde, sitting in for the chair. As you appear before this committee, or indeed any other committee of sorry, Vice Chair, you can introduce yourself. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and apologies, I was having network challenges earlier. Mitete Council, you are most welcome, honorable members of Parliament. A very good morning, our permanent witnesses. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am member.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mitete Town Council, as you appear before this committee, or indeed any other committee of Parliament, to assist in the deliberations before it, you are protected under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which grants members of Parliament immunity against prosecution for what they say within the House. This means that the information you give to this committee cannot be used against you outside Parliament or indeed in any courts of the law, as long as you are factual. However, should you deliberately mislead or misinform the committee, the same law can be used against you. But we believe that you won't take that stance. Before you submit, I note CS that we have assistant internal auditor. Also, there is assistant procurement officer, assistant director of works, assistant council treasurer, acting. So there is acting council treasurer, acting director of works, acting procurement officer. Where are the substantive ones?
Thank you, Chair. These have come as a result of the transfer of those that were there, Chair.
Okay, maybe for the record, we would want to know how long each has been there, so that we know. Council Secretary, when did you go to Mitete?
Chair, I went to Mitete in 15th November 2022.
2022. The other ones, starting from the acting treasurer. Your mic, sir.
Thank you, Chair. I went to Mitete in October, on the 30th of October, 2023.
3rd October 2023.
Yes.
The other one.
Thank you, Chair. I went to Mitete in November 2023.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I went to Mitete in 2018.
Yeah.
Director planning.
Director planning. Okay. The other one.
Thank you, Chair. I went to Mitete, that was January 8th, 2024.
January 8, 2024.
Yes, 2024.
So you are just a month.
Yes, Chair.
The other one.
I've been Mitete since Mitete was created, but under audit, I think this is my 5th year.
5th year.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mitete Town Council. You can now submit your report with a guidance that query number 1, which is an authorized payment, has been partially resolved, which you want to go through it. I will take you start from page 4, cross-cutting audit findings. The other guidance is you just read the query and then you go to the management response, the cause of the query and the action taken and the remedial. You can submit your report.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members, for this partial sigh of relief. Allow me now, Chair, to proceed on the cross-cutting issues, which are under page 4. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observation of the auditors. The query was caused by management's failure to fully and timely spend the funds allocated for various projects under Constituency Development Fund due to the following reasons. Chair, under 1, there's a 2 million there. This was deducted at source for the purchase of CDF motor vehicle and the community police vehicle. Balance brought forward This chair, this was as a result of the delayed disbursement of 1.6 from 2021 CDF funding, which was received on 1st October 2021, which gave the local authority minimal time to utilize the funds. The other reason, Chair, were attributed to balance brought forward of 606,485 for ongoing community project at the beginning of 2022, and the funds were already committed to projects. Unspent funds, Chair, as a reason. The funds from the Ministry of Finance were released late. We received 635,000 in the first quarter of the year, 5,798,695.3 in the second quarter, 732,450 in the third quarter, and 10,314,469.47 in the fourth quarter, which gave us a small window to utilize the funds. Then we have community projects, Chair. In February 2022, CDF guidelines were issued, but following the issuance of the same, a circular was received that no CDF activities should be conducted until committees were trained for a period of 3 months prior to CDF activities being undertaken. However, on completion of these trainings, CDF committees were to be formed, after which we started now considering applications, and applications were made. The other attribute, Chair, is the inaccessibility of the district during floods. This has been as a result of limited working window period of half a year, while the other half of the year the district is completely inaccessible due to perennial floods. From mid-December to mid-June 2022, Chair, the district, that is Mitete, experienced floods, hence making it difficult for all developmental projects in that year. Then disaster also, because it is also carrying a component of disaster. Under disaster, Chair, management had not received any record of disaster from the ward development committees at the time of audit. As regards unspent funds on skills development and secondary school boarding, to start with the bursaries, this was as a result of learners' refusal to go to boarding schools due to non-inclusion of ration money, transport, and personal protective equipment, PPE. Loans, Chair, delayed disbursement of loans. This was due to delayed formulation of loan application forms, which was done in 2023, and Mitete Town Council disbursed loans immediately the forms were received from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Action taken, Chair. The following are some of the actions that management has taken. Mitete District is now in receipt of the CDF project monitoring vehicle Land Cruiser, and also the police vehicle with the details attached thereto. Also, management has made several payments, bringing the amount spent to 17,984,287, representing 93% of the expenditure as shown in the table here under. Also, management has spent 87% on community projects. Management, Chair, has spent 100% in the category of grants, soft loans, secondary school boarding, and skills development. 5, management utilized the period between mid-June and mid-December with the aim of ensuring that all developmental activities were expedited to meet the objectives of CDF. Management has conducted various sensitization activities, including programs and radio programs and community sensitization meetings. Chair, Appendix 2 is talking to this query. Then on page 7, remedial measures. Management will always ensure that timely and fully utilization of funds sent under CDF. The other query, Chair, is failure to spend, which is on page 8. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations of the auditor and wish to state that the query was caused by management's failure to fully and timely spend funds amounting to 9,783,153 allocated for various projects under Constituency Development Fund due to the following reasons. Delayed procurement process. Some of the delays were caused by long procurement procedures which required approval from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Ministry of Finance, and National Planning, including the Attorney General. The other reason, Chair, is inaccessibility of the district during floods. This had led to limited working window period of half a year, while the other half, the district is completely inaccessible due to perennial floods. That is from mid-December to mid-June. The other delay was readvertisement of 7 community projects due to termination of contract arising from encumbrances that occurred in the procurement processes that resulted in stakeholders' outcry. Action taken, Chair. The following are some of the actions that management has taken. Management has wished to inform the committee that it has taken advantage of the decentralized approval process from Ministry of Finance and National Planning to the Director of Finance at the province, further to Director Finance Local Authority, and from Ministry of Local Government also to the Provincial Law Government Officer, thereby quickening the process. Management utilized the period between mid-June and mid-December by ensuring that all developmental activities are expedited to meet the objectives of Constituency Development Fund. The projects were re-advertised and contractors, Chair, are currently on site executing the works. Management has also made several payments, bringing the amount spent to 8,386,143, representing 87% of the expenditure as shown in the table here under. The attachment appendix number 3 is talking to this response, Chair. As regards remedial measures, management will ensure that all projects are completed on time through close supervision of projects and adherence to work schedules by contractors. Page 10, Chair, bursaries and secondary school and skills development and spent funds. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the observations made by auditors and states that unspent skills development and secondary school boarding school bursaries amounting to 4,656,915. This is due to low outtake of pupils due to non-inclusion of ration money, transport, and personal protective equipment PPE. Action taken, Chair. Management facilitated the sponsorship of students and pupils at a total cost of 774,841.61 in January 2022 to various schools and trade institutions, and also sensitize the communities and World Development Committee on the importance of education and acquiring life skills. Further, Chair, management requested for authority to vary funds to a sum of 3,873.39 from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, which was approved. The variation went to the procurement of desks in order to meet the presidential directive. A total of 2,042 desks were procured and delivered to beneficiaries in beneficiary schools in Mitete, Chair. Appendix 4, Chair, is talking to this response. As regards remedial measures, management will ensure that there is continuous sensitization of importance of constituency development fund in the community via various platforms such as radio programs and community sensitization meetings in order to increase the consumption of the components. Page 12, Chair. On the secondary school and skills development, Chair, cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the observation made by auditors and states that the query was caused by 18 students who failed to report for classes at Lukulu boarding school because of lack of payment for personal protective equipment and also transport. Action taken. Management has since undertaken community sensitization and community radio programs to highlight the benefits of the newly introduced bursaries component of the CDF. Attached here to Chair, this should read appendix number 4 because that's where it ends in terms of appendices. Remedial measures, Chair. Management will ensure that there is continuous sensitization of CDF fund in community via various platforms like I indicated before, Chair. And in conclusion, Chair, we just want to thank this Chair and members present here for according us this opportunity to appear before it so that we can get from the vast experiences this committee has on how best we can manage the affairs of the local authority in Mitete. Chair, I wish to end here.
Thank you very much. I will allow now members to seek points of clarification. Honorable members. Honorable Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. I would refer the committee to page 4, cross-cutting audit findings. The first question that I would like to seek clarification is there's no interest recorded on the main account or revolving account. Why is that so? Then the second one is when I look at the funding profile on page 4, the first quarter you received 635,000, and then the second quarter 5 million, third quarter 732, and the fourth quarter 10 million. When I add, it comes to 17,480,614, which does not match the income received as shown in the table on page 4. The income that you received was 23,739,911. Then these were the the audit remarks, but your action, which is up to date on page 6, I see that you have done quite well. Management has spent 87% on community projects. Management has spent 100% in categories of grants, soft loans, and secondary schools, and so on and so forth. But when I look at the table on page 6, there is no administration cost. There's no administration cost, so I don't know how you have been operating without operational costs. And I tried to follow through submissions the monies as tabulated on page 6. I don't find anywhere where administration cost is sourced from. Maybe I stop here.
It's quite loading. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member, for that important question. Chair, as regards the interest, either on the main account or revolving account, Chair, we interrogated our bank statement on the main account. We discovered that the bank did not award us interest to come on this account. So we are still, as management, trying to see how best we can interrogate the bank as well after interrogating the statement, so that we see, are there reasons why we were not awarded interest in this regard. Chair, we have noted that as well as your members and also as your servants, but it's something that we are still pursuing with the bank. But on the loan revolving account, Chair, on the revolving account, we recorded some not interest, but just the loan repayment. In 2023.
The question is on interest, just so if there is no any interest, don't go to the loan repayments. Maybe before you can go to another question, I would also allow Honorable Kamondo to add.
Thank you. On the main account, CS, you have said that you don't know the reason why. When did you realize that there was no interest which was being accumulated? I want to find out when you realized, and then did you ever make efforts to contact the bank to find out why those two accounts could not accrue any interest? Thank you.
And maybe in addition, what was the response from the bank? You can
Thank you, Chair. We realized that there was this omission in October 2023. However, Chair, we want to apologize that we have not engaged the bank yet, because we were trying to see how we can, which reasons we have to give, so that the bank can explain to us why interest has not been accrued to us. Chair, will be lying.
Yes. Just there, you are saying you wanted to see the reasons that you wanted to put across to the bank. The reasons are known. Are you telling this committee that the reasons are not known? The reasons are known. You are not, there is nothing that has been accrued, no interest. That is the reason. Now, from October up to date, there is no any response. That's why the committee is worried. They want to know, is it very far where the bank is that you cannot take the step and go and find out? Before you answer that, in addition, Honorable Member.
In addition to what you have just asked the Honorable Chairperson, I would like to find out whether the CS and Mitete Council, through the Treasurer, whether he's aware that these two accounts, the main account and the loan revolving account, whether they know that these two accounts, they are supposed to accrue interest. And also, I want them to tell us, if that is correct, where do you take the money which comes from the main account? Do you use it, or where do you take it? And then the other account, which is their own revolving account, if it does accrue any interest, where is that interest supposed to be taken?
Yes. If you want, you can also delegate to the Treasurer, if that is okay. But yes, you can.
Thank you, Chair. For the revolving account, Chair, the monies that has been coming in, some of it, of course, we didn't segment to see whether this was a loan repayment or interest. But what we are doing is that when the monies are put there, we get those monies and pay those that are on a pending list, and then we clear the pending people. But as regards...
Yes, I'm getting a bit confused, because when the money is found in your account, you are saying you don't know the source of the money, but your duty is only to pay, even to give out loans without knowing the source of the money. This is how you are doing in Mitete? Because the first thing that comes is to know the source, is to know whether an account has accrued some interest. But you are putting, like in Mitete, when you just found the money, you just spend without knowing the source. Why is it like that?
Chair, we apologize for that omission, but we took it that that money was the repayment. So little did we maybe try to take interest to segment this money so that we know which one is repayment and which one is also the interest. So, Chair, I think there something we have to work on as quickly as possible, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Kamondo.
Through you, Chair. Earlier on, we want to know from Mitete. I asked earlier on whether he was aware that the main account is supposed to accrue some interest. And if he was aware, how do they use or how do they utilize that money? Secondly, in the same vein of interest earned on those monies that are kept in a bank from the loan revolving account, if he's aware that it's supposed to accrue some interest. And my interest was that I wanted the one who take care of the resources for CDF, the custodian, he's the controlling officer, I know. I wanted actually the treasurer to talk to that so that we can have a very good conversation Thank you.
Thank you very much. Treasurer, if you can highlight the committee, if you are aware that these two accounts are supposed to accrue some interest.
Thank you, Chair. On the main account, from the time it was opened, records show that it doesn't earn interest. Then, on the revolving fund, it earns interest on the basis that when there is that recovery of the loans they get, there is an element of capital and principal and interest in it. Like my principal officer said, the only thing which we are yet to work with the bank is to see what part of interest in that figure which they recover from loan beneficiaries. Thank you, Chair.
So, I want to find out from you.
Switch off your microphone. Okay.
Now that you've agreed that the loan account accrues interest, what information are we going to take now? Which we are going to take now that Mitete, the loan account accrued so much money. Because this money you didn't spend for some time. It was just, which you didn't record here. But verbally, you have admitted that it does. So, which information are we going to rely on that it does?
Thank you, Chair. By the time of this audit, the account was not yet opened. It was opened somewhere around June 2023, if I'm not mistaken. That's why.
Treasurer, switch off, okay. Just be relaxed. It's just an interaction. You are not in a dock where you feel that you'll be sentenced. No, it's just an interaction. We want to know. Because when you say the account was not opened, when were you audited?
October 2023.
So when they were auditing you, the account was not opened by then?
It was opened.
Okay. So be factual. You're under Cap 12. You are protected. No one will ever use whatever evidence you are giving us to court. So be as factual as you can. Council Secretary, switch off your mic. You have heard the questions. Maybe if you can come in.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. On the revolving account, Chair, like in 2023, we had monies that came in after we had given out loans. We recovered 121,750.06. Then,
Council Secretary, it's not about the recovery. We were asking about the interest. So, if you don't know the figure, you can just say the interest was accrued, but we didn't indicate, so that we move forward. Because this committee, you will never convince them without any evidence. Whether the interest was accrued, but without evidence, we don't take. So the question is, was in these two accounts, was there any interest that accrued? Yes or no? If it's yes, then you ask another question.
Chair, the answer is yes, Chair.
Thank you very much. So why didn't you include in your funding profile?
Chair, that was just an oversight, Chair, but we'll go to the nitty-gritty of the same and do better than this.
Thank you very much. So for this, because of other questions, the external auditors, you need to find out how much the interest was, because there are some, because they don't know which one is the interest, which one is the loan repayment, and so forth. Honorable Member.
Chair, thank you so much. I know I had said that my mouse was zipped, but just to put it to you that on all accounts, interest is earned. So if Mitete is not earning any interest on the main account, we are losing. So get it from this committee that main account earns interest. Revolving account also earns interest. Let's take it back to Mitete like that.
Thank you very much. So, Mitete, you need to go and find out from the bank through our external auditors so that we have that information. There are some questions. We are still on the questions that we were being asked by Dr. Mwanza. If you can answer them.
With how these questions have been coming, yeah, I'm now behind.
Okay, on page 4, you have given the funding profile. Very clear. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. When I add these amounts, it comes to 17,480,614. When I compare with the income that you received, it is the income you received is 23,739,000. That is removing the 2 million, the variance. How do you explain this inconsistency? And the other question was the action that you took, which we are now believing is what is prevailing on the ground. The action taken on page 6, you have given a tabulation, a table of how you have spent the unspent funds that the auditors found in your account. The unspent funds, for your information, is on page 4, which is 19,281,298. This figure is carried forward to a table on page 6, which is correctly distributed in the table. The second column, you see that community projects 9 million, grants 1.9, soft loans and so on, and the total is 19 million, which is consistent with what was discovered unspent. On this table, there is no administration cost. And I've tried, as you can see, that you have distributed the monies accordingly to these sectors. There's no room for administration cost. Why is it like that, and how have you been operating without administration costs? These are the two questions.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe before I come in, with your permission, Chair, allow me to ask the Director of Works if he can say something, then I will come in later on.
Director of Works.
Thank you very much, Chair. To answer the first question of the imbalance in the figures, I think it was just a mistake. On the third quarter, there was a receipt of 732,450 and 6,259,000.
You're bit by bit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so you're saying the second quarter there was 732.
In the third quarter.
In the third, yeah?
Yes, there was 732,450.
Uh-huh.
And then there was another receipt on the 19th of August 2022 of 6,259,116.04.
6 million
259
259
116
116.04.
0.04. Yes, please.
Yes.
So that brings the total third quarter funding to 6,991,746.57.
So where do you want to put this one which was not there? Did you go to Chalimbana?
Yes, Chair.
And you checked this report as a team?
Yes, Chair.
And there is no one from your team who noticed that there is this money that was not in the report?
Chair, it was noticed, but I think it was just when printing that we made a mistake and then printed the one that was before.
But why didn't you make some? When printing?
Yes, the omission was noted.
Yes.
But I think it was just an oversight to make the change.
That's why I was even telling the treasurer, this is not a court. When you noticed that there was this omission, you would have corrected, even in your presentation of your report, to say there is one figure that was not added to this committee. Would want to request this committee if we can add. But for us, when you present the report like this, now assuming we didn't ask about it, and if you were here and you give me this report, can't you question the very question that we have asked you? Because it's not balancing. So before other members can ask the questions, I would also want you to answer, Council Secretary, about the administration cost. Even the disaster, I haven't seen it there. The disaster component.
Yes, Chair. I think for disaster, we just made a mistake because as these disasters were implemented in 2023, so we should have indicated, as we speak, there are 2 projects that are done, Luhume under disaster and also Namakando under disaster. It's just unfortunate that were not included either in the community or as separate as disaster.
Administration?
Administration Chair, from my knowledge, I thought the administration is in the capital projects component. Little did I know that maybe it was separated, Chair.
Through the chair.
Council Secretary. Okay, Dr. Mwanza, then.
Yes, Council Secretary, the guidelines are very clear. Even the allocation in terms of percentages, to the 60% is for community projects, 5% is for disaster, 40%, very, very, very clear. And this is how this table, you're supposed to be in terms of distribution. So how would you say that administration cost is included in any capital projects? So you're saying administration cost is in community projects, which is item number 1? And if you say so, we're going to follow. We follow the expenditure of this 9,783,000. You find that it is all allocated in community projects. That is why in the beginning I said that for the disaster, I can understand it should be embedded in the community projects, because you get 5% of the 60% to come up with a contingency. Actually, it's meant for contingency on projects. But for administration cost, it is on its own. Even you have not even provided a ledger for administration cost. So, how have you been operating without administration cost?
Yes, Honorable.
On the same administrative cost, I still want to go back to the treasurer. Treasurer, I'm sure you have been monitoring these projects.
Yes.
You have been monitoring them.
Yes.
If you have been monitoring the projects, where was the money coming from?
In short, Treasurer, they are saying, what have you been using for monitoring?
And how much? I want to know also how much is remaining as the administrating cost.
You have been monitoring the projects. Are you telling this committee that you have been using capital projects money to monitor your projects?
Thank you, Chair. At the end of the year 2022, roughly there was an administration balance of around 300,000.
Undocumented. No ledger, no nothing.
Members, through the chair. Through the chair, members.
Yes.
Through the chair. Yes, Dr. Mwanza.
Yes, so you did not provide the ledger for administration costs. And even I have followed, if I take you to the ledgers that you provided on Appendix 2. Appendix 2, the last page. The last page of Appendix 2 is showing the budget, total budget for all the community projects. Are we there? Appendix 2, so the last page of the Appendix 2. We have an inventory of all the projects that either ongoing or completed, and the total budgeting is coming to 12,027,287. This is the amount of money that you have allocated for community projects in terms of infrastructure. When you compare with the income received as on page 6, the total income is 19 million unspent. And community projects were just supposed to spend, the unspent was 9,783,000. But your budget is above on community projects. Your budget is above the monies that are reserved for this particular component, which is even actually justifying that. That's why I've been saying, I've been looking around to check where could have been the administration cost be, where is it hidden or somewhere. So I don't see anywhere. So you have all these allocation problems in terms of accountability. How do we proceed?
Council Secretary, the concerns of the committee is you have been monitoring the projects. Maybe, have you been monitoring the projects, Council Secretary?
Yes, Chair, we have been monitoring this.
What have you
project.
been using
We have
From
been
what?
using a administrative component.
How much and from where? Is it from the capital projects?
Chair, it's not from a capital project, but as a component on its own. It's only that it has not been included in our ledgers, Chair.
Okay, there is something that your MP wants to add. Honorable Member for Mitet.
CSU, I zipped my mouth. But we have to face facts as they are. What is the percentage of administration component? As management, do you know or you don't know? The administration component is, Dr. Mwanza, 5% of the total income. If you've been monitoring, of which you do, what have you been using? Money is from your pockets? The answer is no.
So, CS, what are you telling this committee? Should we leave it like this, that you used the capital money to do evaluation and monitoring, or you used administration cost? And if you used administration cost, how much?
Chair, we did not use the capital component. We used the administrative component, which is 5% of the allocated funds of CDF. Now, it is just an omission that that did not come out as administrative, because I think we had time as a team to look at it. Little did it click that there is something that we are missing, Chair. So that is where we are now stuck.
Okay.
Chair.
Internal auditor, are you there?
Yes, Chair.
You also didn't see that there is no administration cost on this ledger?
Thank you, Chair. No, I did. I saw that there is admin, and there's a report that we, to that effect, that we had the compound.
What did you advise?
Actually, on the, maybe I didn't get your question well. I might say something. Well,
okay.
Yes, I started responding, but I've seen that
the question is, yes, on this CDF component,
yes,
as well, you didn't see that there was no administration cost added on the list as our internal auditor.
Yeah, in this report, thank you so much for that question, Chair. In this report, I didn't really check, but I thought that was automatic. So I thought maybe the question was, do I know that there is administration component? Like how?
Since you have heard the question, you can answer the question. You didn't see it?
In this report, yes, I didn't see it. And
did you go through this report?
No. I didn't go through everything because I knew it was automatic.
As the internal auditor, you didn't go through the report?
Under this code, there are certain things that I was concentrating on.
Like
on that one, I knew to say that is automatic because it has to come out.
Honorable members, I think we will direct this again to our external auditors to go and check what the council uses. Is it true they use administration cost or they use capital because they haven't even... yes, Dr. Mansa.
Sorry, Chair. Even though we we are still finding the source of the administration cost, why didn't they provide the ledger? Because
let me help you, Dr. Mansa, just a minute.
Why didn't they provide the ledger? They provided the ledger for all other components.
Yes, let me help you. Thank you. CS, the concern of the committee is when you add now the administration cost, it won't go to 19 million. It will shoot. You have balanced well without administration cost. So that's the concern of the member and the committee. So now they are asking, you have been using this administration cost, using which vote? Because it is balanced. Without administration cost, your table is balanced. So maybe you can just highlight to the committee which, from which component we are using the administration cost.
Chair, that question is a $1 million question, which is very difficult to respond in the situation we are now. But we wish to indicate that this is an omission on our part as management. If it were possible that we are given the time to sit down to see on our arithmetics where did we go wrong, because it will definitely overshoot and it will be very difficult for us to. But we have been monitoring these projects which are complete and some handed over, Chair. But except that maybe our arithmetics did not balance well because of that oversight, Chair.
Members, are you still on the same? No. Okay.
That's why you have a total of 19. But somewhere you have 23. You've seen in your books, eh? Yes. That's why you have a total of 19 million. You total your projects and everything, Dr. Manza, 19. But the other figure on top, 23. Why? You did not account treasure. Are you able to give some light? Are you able, treasurer? I can give some. Yes, you shed some light. We appreciate what you are saying, yes. Sorry, I wanted to keep quiet, but you are forcing me. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. We use administrative when going for monitoring. It's only that here, maybe we concentrated on what is highlighted.
There. We thought you would say something different from what the principal had said.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
You can switch off your mic. Members, no matter how much we can ask questions on this, we want to find the answer. And that's why we have, that's why we have thrown this to our external auditors to go and find out from Mitete what they used the money, which component were they using for them to be monitoring the projects and so forth. You can find that maybe they've been even using the component of a loan without knowing indirect. We move on. Honorable Kamondo, another question.
Yes, I would have loved the Member of Parliament for Mitete to move out from here so that we can transact very well.
In fact, he won't be given any other chance because he declared interest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
You can continue.
As long as you promise me that you will not ask any questions,
yes,
then I can go ahead.
You can go ahead, sure.
seems there's...
Maybe before there is something that is coming.
Yeah, I feel that they are a bit scared in the presence of the honorable member. But the honorable member declared that he will be just observing. And so, as he is here, please take it as if he is not around. And we are just interacting. We are just interacting. So, you need to...
You want to be given any chance to contribute? Honorable member, you can ask the question.
Through you, Honorable Chairperson, I want to take you to this query on the in fact failure to spend actually. Yes, in terms of delayed actually disbursement of loans.
Okay.
Maybe let me just read what came from management. Delayed disbursement of loans was due to delayed formulation of loan application forms, which was done in the year 2023, and Mitete Town Council disbursed loans immediately. The loans were received, the forms were received from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Now my question is, we are very happy that the loans were given out. I want to find out from CS, can you give us the evidence which shows? I have seen only pictures of people, there's a lot of jubilation in the pictures, but I don't have that evidence that will show me and other honorable members that indeed these people have received the loans. I have not seen any ledger, so I want actually maybe to be shown to the ledger which shows that the loans have been given out, and also which is also showing that in fact some monies, people have even started paying. Yes, people have even started paying back the loans, which is very progressive. We want to see the ledger.
CS, if you can read us to the ledger, so that we see, we appreciate what we are telling this committee, that the loans were disbursed immediately. CS.
I observed that as a principal officer. So now what happened, I think this was worked on because we realized that that question is actually coming, and coming in a big way. So we have provided ledger, though it is not in our report, Chair. That is the mistake we made. But we have provided a ledger of how and when the monies were paid to various loan applicants. Chair.
CS, I'm sure you have been a CS for some time, and you know the procedures of this committee. Why didn't you submit at first that there is another document that we wish to submit? You appeared even last year, not so? Before this committee, you know the procedure. Why didn't you do that, CS? Because the reason why we need evidence, we need to check and appreciate what you are doing. Without the documents, anyone on a verbal rip, somebody can tell you that I've done this, and yet they haven't. Members, there is that document. If you can submit to our secretariat that very document. Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. On the same, if we look at the ledger on grants, which is Appendix 2, The ledger for grant is the third page. It has descriptions like payment for various clubs, 5 clubs, then the amount of money is there, 75,000 kwacha. It's a third page, appendix 2, eh?
Yes.
22 clubs out of 31 approved, 290,960, so on and so forth. It is very difficult for us to analyze these individual clubs, whether they received these grants that is within the threshold, because you have lumped to say 22 clubs, you are saying 290. 3 clubs, just like that. So do you have a detailed disbursement list that is showing that we can scrutinize to check some members whether they received the 45 or something like this? Then on this same table, you are saying the budgeted amount was 2,929,800. That is the budgeted amount. I'm sure this is as received from the applicants. Then you are saying the actual amount received is 1,956,233. So why did you spend above the budget? Because the total amount of money that you disbursed under this component is 1,996,760, which is above the actual received from your table here. Yes, and it's negative. You spent more than you spent 40,000 above the budget.
CS, maybe just to augment, there is a balance of 2.9. 2.929,800. Are you able to see that balance? Glance the ledger for 2022 glance. You have seen? So this 2.9, it was the amount that was allocated for grants. And then there is a debit and the credit there. If you can just explain to us, there is also negative 40,526. We want to know these figures because no one understands here accounts. So I want to hear from you. If it's the council treasurer, you can also.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Allow me, maybe through you, request my finance advisor to come and explain to members.
Council treasurer, there are those 3 figures. The committee doesn't understand anything. There is balance 2.9. There is also negative 40,000. There is also 1.9. Kindly shed more light.
Thank you, Chair. First, let me talk about 2.9. 2.9, I think it was wrong posted there. That is a figure for loans.
It was in?
It's a figure under loans.
Okay.
Then,
wait. Wait, Dr. Mwanza, let him finish. So this figure, it was long reposted.
Yes.
It is a figure for loans. What is the right figure?
The corrective, when you look at there is budgeted, then actually received.
Okay, bit by bit, Treasurer, you are saying this 2.29,800, it was wrongly posted here. This one is a figure for the loans, not so?
Yes.
What is the right figure?
The right figure is that second figure, 1.9, Chair. So even payments was against the 1.9 and not against 2.9. Thank you.
Okay. So now, are you telling this committee that you overspent 40,526 when you use your figure that you have given us now?
I would say so, Chair.
Sorry?
I would say so, Chair. I agree with that.
You overspent?
Yes.
How much did you overspend?
40,526, as indicated there.
Where did you get that money from?
That money could be from the component of the 2023, probably. We need to analyze and see those beneficiaries. Maybe they are part of the 2023 beneficiaries.
Honorable Dr. Mwansa, just a minute. You are the one who is telling us, Treasurer. Now when you start giving this committee to say we need to analyze and see if the beneficiaries are from 2022 or 2023, we want to get the facts from you. Honorable Mwanza, switch off your mic.
Yes, in the first place, the opening balance for these grants, you are saying it is the second figure, which is 1,956,233.23. Okay, so let's compare this opening balance with what you provided on page 6. On page 6, the grant component is 1,908,880. So we are expecting this to be the opening balance for grants, but these figures are not the same. Despite that, you have overshoot by 40,000. And your answer is to say probably the 40,000 is from 2023. 2023, when I look at the same table, I look at the dates for payment. The latest payment was done on 27th January 2023, of which that time you had no credit for 2023 CDF. You can see from the date on the ledgers, on this ledger, it was all 2022, and the last payments is straightforward. So you had no money in the account. How do you explain that?
Council Treasurer.
Yes, Chair. Like I said earlier on, I'll really need to analyze. Probably there could be an element of misposting here, which may result into overpayment. Maybe there could have been an element of reversal, which we did not take part into.
Okay. Internal auditor, you have seen the overpayment of 40,526. Did you okay this payment?
Thank you, Chair. I think to my knowledge on this one...
Treasurer, switch off your mic.
To my knowledge on this one is that this overpayment is from the money which...
Did you see this overpayment as an internal auditor? Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it.
Did you okay it?
Actually, when I inquired, this is what I want to explain.
First, before you explain, did you okay it? Because it passed. We want to know, did you okay it or not?
Maybe you need to shed more light. Like in this report or when the actual payments were being made? I don't know.
When the actual payment was being made, the payment, did you okay it? That it should pass?
Like for... Yes, I checked the payment, of course. But this other variance is from the monies which were meant for bursaries. So this is where... But here, it can't really show that this overpayment was from the
Honorable members, as we wind up, Honorable Kamondo.
Yeah, thank you very much. There are issues that maybe we may not resolve.
Yes.
I think the auditors are there. They
Yes.
will resolve them. Earlier on, I wouldn't have loved to take you back.
Yes.
I had asked the question about the loans and how they were disbursed. Even the list of those people, the beneficiaries, which also my colleague here asked on the grants. Where is that list? We are just being given numbers on the other side. Now, we were told that there is some information which was with the CS that we needed. I don't know whether this is the information that you have received, or maybe there is something else that we have not seen, the two of us here. So how are we going to settle this matter? Or is it that this list is going to be brought to this committee later on so that we know exactly who were the beneficiaries and how, and in fact the progress that has been made in terms of loan repayment, which he agreed. I don't know, maybe I leave it to a few chairs so that you can make a decision.
Thank you very much, members. Mitete Town Council, who have come to the end of Honorable Mwanza, no matter how much you ask.
It's not refreshing, but there's another serious issue which we address together with what we have.
What is that issue?
On ledger, the ledgers, the last one for community projects. So community project number 17.
It's on appendix what?
It's on appendix 2. Or appendix 2. Appendix 2, the last page. Project number 17. The contract amount is 622,225 for this project. But if I take you to appendix 3, the same project is project number 5. Kamuvamwe Enterprise is the contractor and is putting up a staff house with VIP toilets at Ngongo Primary School. The contract sum is at 390,000 kwacha. So, but on the ledger it is 622,000. There's an overpayment of more than 200,000. Then the other financial flow is on the the pupils. If we are on the same ledger, Appendix 2, the first page. The first page shows the number of pupils and the number of students that are sponsored under the bursaries component. The total number of skills training in the constituency is 41 from this table. I have 31 from Kalabo Trades that you paid 164,600. Then there are 7 also Kalabo Trades and 3 Mongo Trades. When you add these, total is 41. Then on the pupils side, we have 15 at Lukulu boarding school, of which you spent 90,000 kwacha. And these at Lukulu boarding secondary school, they are paid for the whole 2023. My question is, first of all, on this ledger, the opening balance is totally wrong. It doesn't tally with the amount allocated for this component. You are showing 4,883,000, but this opening balance, you can even check it from page 10. The opening balance would be 4,895,83. That is one mistake. And then on this number of pupils, pupils and students, you are showing that you are sponsoring 15 pupils, which is correct. But number of students, as on page 10, number of students, here you are showing 50. Page 10. Where have the 9 come from? When your ledger, where you even made payments to these institutions, your ledger on Appendix 3 is showing, it's very easy to count the number of pupils that you have sent money to institutions.
Dr. Mwanza, those are some of the 2 questions as we are winding up. I would want the procurement officer also to come in for these 2 figures. We want to know how much was the contract sum. There it is showing 622,225, and here it is showing 390. Procurement, are you there?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm trying to locate the page.
The last page in Appendix 2, going to Appendix 3, the last page, are you there? Where it is showing 622,225. Staff House at Ngongo. Project number 17.
17, no, it's not this one.
You have seen it?
Okay, I'm trying to check. Okay.
Are you there?
You
have seen the project number 17?
Yes, yes. It has a figure of 622.
Okay.
225.
That one is what? A contractee?
That's a contract sum.
Then how much have you paid at that one? You have paid how much?
243,977.40.
The balance is 3.
The balance is giving us 378. 378,247.60.
It is at Gable level.
Yes, sir. Yes, your chair.
Yes, so now go to Appendix 3, the first page, project number 5. The contractor is Kamubamwi Enterprise. Appendix 3, project number 5, Kamubamwi Enterprise. Are you there?
Okay.
Procurement. Appendix 3.
Appendix.
You are there. The first
The one which has an advert.
2022 CDF projects, Appendix 3, the first page. Are you there, CS?
Yes.
Wait.
66. Okay.
Are you there?
Yes. Why there's a contract in the name of Kamu Enterprise? Yes.
How much is the sum?
The contract sum is 390.
So now we want you to reconcile those figures. There is that 622 and there is also 390. Even as you are responding, put it in your mind that you have paid already 243,977. The balance is 378. Over to you, procurement.
Through your chair, on this one, I'll ask our director works to shed more light on these payments.
Are you not the one who are procuring? Okay, director of works.
Maybe chair.
CS.
Yes, chair.
Switch off your mic. Procurement.
Yes, chair. This observation is valid, but I wish to state that these are two different projects. The first, the same year, but one project could not kickstart, and it was re-advertised, while the other project also came in 2022. So these are not the same projects, Chair. They are different projects from our books.
CS.
Yes, Chair.
Even yourself, are you sure with that information that we have got two different projects using the same name at the same place? Are you telling me that you are building two houses at Ngongo, since there are two different projects? So are we building two houses at Ngongo? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe the director can come in, but that's the information I have in my office.
Director of Works. Are we building two houses? There is an information from the CS that these are two different projects. One started in 2022, the other one. So do we have two houses at Ngongo?
Thank you very much, Chair. So these projects were awarded and then terminated. So these same projects are appearing here, but they were rescoped because if you see the contract sum is at 390,000 kwacha. So it was revalued, advertised, and then there was a new contractor who was. So maybe we can.
No, this on Appendix 3 is you did a re-advertisement and you awarded the contracts. This is a list for award. And I've followed from the payments. I can see all these 7 projects. They are appearing on the advertised, and they were awarded, and they are even shown in the on table in appendix 2 the community projects. So it is this project number 5, which is the only one which is inconsistent in terms of the contract sum. All these others, project 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, I've followed them from this list of projects. They are okay. The same sum which is appearing, which you awarded, is appearing, is consistent, but project number 5 is not.
Director of Works. Council Secretary.
In the same vein, I think this is difficult for them to explain. But,
Dr. Mwanza,
on,
just a minute, Mr. Mwanza. We invite our witnesses so that they can give us the points of clarifications. And when we are not getting, no matter how much we can ask questions, it's more or less like we are not getting to the point. I will allow the honorable members that we end here. Honorable member.
On the same projects, the same 7 projects that actually were terminated, according to the CS on page 8, I think it was just a short one. I wanted that please to come. The item number 3, the advertisement of 7 community projects due to termination of contract arising from encumbrances that occurred in the procurement process that resulted in the stakeholders' outcry. So now I wanted to find out what was this outcry so that we can cure this. It's on the failure to spend. So if we don't actually capture this, then we'll be leaving one very important item.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that's the last question. Any clarity, CS, what was this outcry from the stakeholders?
Thank you, Chair. Since you gave us that immunity, Chair, to say and inform the committee accordingly, the outcry that came from the community, and also we are saying this through the spirit of perpetual succession. The outcry that came from the community was that people who were awarded these 7 contracts did not go for mandatory site visits, but they were awarded contracts, denying those that put in their resources to go on site, had everything right, but did not get these contracts. So that is what led to the termination of these contracts, Chair.
Thank you very much. We are ending here. Mitete Town Council, thank you for your appearance. And I'm sure, CS, you have seen the matters that are rising from this committee. Would just pray and hope that when you go back, you go and put your house in order. The government is putting a lot of money, and we rely on you as government so that you implement the projects. There are a lot of issues that has happened in Mitete. We don't know if you are using administration cost. You don't know how much the interest is in both accounts. You don't know if the people who have benefited under loans, others are in 2022 or are for 2023. There are a lot of that inconsistency. So as a committee, we are saddened and would wish you all the best, and make sure that you put your house in order as I withdraw now the immunity that was conferred on you, and I wish you well and travel safely. Thank you very much.
Well, Twambo is 38 years old. I'm a married man. I'm the member of parliament for Itestezi. I'm a first timer. By profession, I'm a teacher and a development worker. I've also worked for various international organizations, and I'm a youth and women's rights activist. I was born in Lusaka, but I started my grade 1 in Kalomo at Green Acres Basic School. Then from Kalomo Green Acres Basic School, I moved to Kalomo Secondary School, where I completed my grade 12, and went to Nkrumah University, where I did a course in teaching. That's a diploma in teaching. Then from there, I moved to the University of Zambia, where I did a bachelor's degree in adult education. And lastly, I went for my master's degree, that is in development studies at University of Lusaka. I love socializing, and I'm also a sports person. I love playing volleyball, I love watching soccer, and I'm just a social human being who likes interacting with people out there. So during my free time, I'm comfortable meeting with friends, talking to friends, and creating that kind of interaction, because I know networks are created through such kind of interactions. From my childhood, I've been a political human being. When I was at Nkrumah, I was part of unionism. When I was at University of Zambia, I was a campaign manager for one of the union presidents. And throughout my life, I've always believed that I can always serve people. And I think in my previous experiences, people are able to identify my potential. But the most important thing, perhaps, that prompted me to go for political office and abandon the NGO work that I was doing. When I left teaching, I joined the NGO world. And the NGO world, I think it taught me how to step out of the classroom and be able to work for the people in a community setup. And I felt that politics was the space where I was going to represent the people in masses, where I was going to speak for the people who are voiceless, where I was going to help to fight inequality, because I'm a strong believer of equality. So I felt that political space was the space where I was going to be, because I know that there are a lot of people out there who can speak for themselves, but they need a voice that is going to do that. And when I looked at the political space, it is the place where I grew up, the place whose geography I understand, whose challenges I understand, whose people I understand. I thought I could have been the right person to represent the people of Itestezi. To be honest, in the previous years, the type of leadership that we used to have, I have to be honest, was not satisfying to me. And I thought I was going to be a solution in bringing about quality leadership, a leadership that would be representative in nature, a leadership that would be fearless, and a leadership that understands the challenges of the people. So I thought I was equal to the task. Being a member of parliament, I've got very specific and defined functions. And these are the functions that perhaps the people out there might not be able to understand. That mine is legislative, I'm a lawmaker. And mine is representative, I need to represent the views of the people. Now, having a deep understanding on what the people of Itestezi face, what challenges they face, I've got very specific aspirations and dreams that I strongly feel 5 years down the line, God willing, I should be able to actualize these things, and the people of Itestezi should see that much desired change. I want to mention that I'm a product of women support, and I'm also a product of the support from the youths. So these two groupings, they are very key in terms of ensuring that their aspirations are met. Now, Itestezi is a rural district, is a rural constituency, a lot of challenges. First of all, one of the things I want to bring is to increase the participation of civil society organizations, community-based organizations, and also international organizations to come on board and help bridge the gap which government fails to satisfy. That is one of my aspirations, because a lot of social issues that happen there, issues around unwanted pregnancies, issues around unsafe abortion, issues around maternal health, and issues around youth participation, they need other players to come on board. And my role is to lobby. I want to bring this on board so that where government doesn't reach, these other players will come on board. In the social services, the people of Itestes, they do not have a hospital. I was arguing in the House that Itestes has no hospital. The definition of a hospital is not what the population of over 70,000 deserves. I want to see that we've got a first class hospital that will have all the essentials, a theater, a laboratory, eye clinic, and everything that a rural district deserves.